Chen Meilin was diagnosed with acute leukemia 7 years ago, and as chemo didn't work for her, her only chance of survival was through a stem cell transplant. However, since she's from northern China, she was afraid of finding a match. Thankfully, through Tzu Chi's stem cell bank, a match was found.
Tzu Chi volunteers visit this family just like their old friends. This family started to form a good affinity with Tzu Chi after Chen Meilin found out she had an illness 7 years ago.
I usually felt dizzy, so the doctor asked me to take a blood test.
After the test, Chen was diagnosed with acute leukemia. At that time, she was 32 years old and she has a son and a daughter.
My chin was swollen and I could not speak.
She didn't have enough hemoglobin, so she had to go to the hospital frequently to receive blood transfusion. I joked with her, "You're becoming a vampire."
Back then, her daughter was only a kindergartner. This illness made this family sink into despair.
I told my son, "You have to be mentally prepared, as you may lose your mother." At that moment, I looked in the rearview mirror and I found he shed tears secretly.
I had trouble falling asleep at night, which made me become thinner.
Chemotherapy didn't work for Chen as she had a second relapse, leading her inevitably to undergo stem cell transplants. But her special genes made it difficult for her to find a match. Luckily, she was able to find a successful pairing in just one match.
Without Tzu Chi stem cell registry and without this donor, I would have no hope in my life.
On the day when Chen underwent the transplant, volunteers brought this card to her, which gave her encouragement.
Hello, I'd like to thank my recipient for the following things. First, I ride the scooter more slowly than before. He was going to donate stem cells to me, so he could not have any accident. He has never seen me before, but he's willing to do many things for me and encourage me.
The donor and recipients have been waiting for more than 6 years to meet each other. Zhang Peixian works as a securities company. His donation came from the encouragement of his mother, who is a Tzu Chi recycling volunteer. Not until 18 years later, after he signed up for the blood test, did he receive the news.
I received a phone call from a volunteer and she said I had found a successful pairing. I was surprised to learn about this. At that moment, I decided to make the donation without any hesitation. Because my father passed away 6 or 7 years ago before I took the blood test, I know it's a hard life for a family if there's any family member falling ill. That's why I'm willing to seize the opportunity to save a family.
Mr. Zhang feels for the Chen family suffering, and his mother also supports him.
At that time, I thought the donation wasn't only to save a person, but to save a family.
My mother makes healthy tea to me every day.
With his mother's tea, Zhang was able to stay healthy. On the day when he donated his stem cells, his friends brought blessings to him.
I had been lying on the hospital bed donating my peripheral blood for 8 hours, so I looked a little bit tired, but I think I was still energetic at that time.
The blood donation process lasted for 8 years, but he had been waiting for the recipient's good news for even a longer period of time.
The success rate is only about 50%. I was worried before I received the news. I hoped I could successfully save the recipient's life.
2 years later, he received the good news with a card.
Not until I received the card did I know she went through the transplant successfully, and she also lives a healthier life. Her child also wrote some words on the other side of the card. I was really moved by this. I think I'm doing something right.
To repay the donor's love, Meilin's daughter has donated her hair to help other cancer patients. After undergoing the transplant, Meilin doesn't have any relapse and she often participates in charitable events with her family. Patients' compassion allows the Chen family to pay love forward.